We wanted just to start things off this year, just starting to ask that question of what if? I mean, what if? What if there's so much more that lies beyond what you're currently doing in your work and in your life?
Because as artists, you guys create from such a deep place, deep down in your souls, that you embody your fears. You are your fears. And some of you can't dream, you can't imagine, you can't create, because when you go to bed at night, you're scared of something. And every single piece of art that's hanging in a museum, every film that wins an Oscar, every novel that wins an award, it is notable because someone danced with their fear. And the reason why is because they were curious of what might be possible. You saw it with your own eyes, right? And we hear things like that. We hear, well, I saw it with my own eyes. And we have little sayings that we've coined, like seeing is believing. But here's the thing, what I do for a living proves that seeing is not always believing, but what we believe actually changes what we see. I used to think that we stopped using our imaginations. Like, we all think that's a childlike thing, right? We're supposed to use our imaginations as little kids, and then we grow up and we stop using them. I've discovered that's not the case. You guys use your imaginations every single day. But instead of imagining what might be possible, or using your imagination to dream and create, most of you use your imagination to fear and worry about the things that could possibly go wrong and why your dream won't work. What if you're still using your imagination? What if worry is just a misuse of your imagination? You see, I sat on the back deck with my son Jude, and we do simple things in my mind, like blow bubbles. And to me, they're just bubbles. Not to Jude, right? It's like, whoa, bubbles. To him, it's real magic. Isn't it amazing how many things as adults we experience that we're just like, oh, no big deal. But when we're little kids, wonder is everywhere. You see little kids like Jude growing up in a healthy home, they don't have to go to conferences about awakening their wonder, because for them, the wonder never sleeps. What if we could recapture that? What if you started valuing the idea of wow more than the idea of how? Like, it's not that you don't have to get there eventually, right? Like she just said, the point of this whole session was to ask the right questions. At some point, you have to figure out, how are we gonna do this? And how are we gonna do that? But if we don't give a moment to let wow breathe, if we jump to how, is this going to be possible too soon? We crush wonder, and we crush our ability to dream big.
All right, so was he tied down to this chair? Yes or no? No, right? Like no one handcuffed him. Everyone who sits in this chair on the stages I get to perform on, they all have the ability to just go, you know, I wonder if there's more going on around me than what I can currently see. Like the paper was right there the whole time, waiting to be discovered, right? It's not that it wasn't there, it's that we got so distracted, we weren't able to see it. Just because you can't see something does not mean it doesn't exist. Look, when you're in a situation or a meeting where you're struggling to solve a certain problem, or you think there's just not another better idea out there, just because you can't currently see an idea, that doesn't mean one doesn't exist. Just because you can't see potential in someone doesn't mean it doesn't exist. Just because you can't see something inside of yourself or your ability to lead well doesn't mean that leadership potential doesn't exist.
It's ironic that people like you call people like me magicians, and you call it magic, when they're just tricks, they're just illusions. But yet, there is magic in the world all around us that we miss out on because cynicism has crushed wonder, and we don't take the time to open our eyes and see it.